Hello, good morning. We're ready to rock and roll and we're actually heading now into Memphis downtown. We're going to check out two places. We're going to Sun Studios, where the likes of Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, I love Johnny Cash, I'll tell you more about him after, performed tracks where they made music, so that'll be really cool to check out. And the Civil Rights Museum is where Martin Luther King got shot and died, so we're going to go check that out as well. Because we've just arrived at Sun Studio Records. Two things have just happened. So I've parked the truck, that's fine, beautiful, in a ridiculously tight space. But as I've just finished parking, there's this car that was parked in this space. And as soon as I literally turn the engine off, they came walking out and like, you can have this space if you want. Lovely people saying it. It's just funny as it happened. I just parked it. Little tip for you if you're worrying about parking, park around the back of it. It's free parking. So a little bit of history about Sun Records, right? In the early 1950s, it was owned by Sam Phillips, and it was known in the early 50s as a record label for giving both black and white artists a chance in the music industry, signing them. It basically became world renowned when B.B. King, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, and other artists, that's how it became so well known. So it started right here, that's where we are. We're inside the shop now. It's $14 for a guided tour. It goes every half an hour, and when you come in, it's just a cool little restaurant. You can order food, you buy the tickets, you can have a look around the shop. Sam Phillips, he signed back in 1954 Elvis Presley when he came here first, and then in 1955 Johnny Cash came with gospel music, and it's apparently said that Sam Phillips said to him, pray and then come back with music I can make hits with. And one of his first songs that Johnny Cash wrote and then released was Cry, 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 which is actually one of the records he released, I think in 1955.
I wasted my time when I would cry, cry, cry. When the lights have lost the glow, you're gonna cry, cry, cry.
And he's one of my favourite country singers of all time, if not my favourite country singer of all time. Behind me right here is Elvis Presley's first record deal that he signed here. And you can see how much he actually received right there. See, total amount to Elvis Presley, $4,500. There's the picture. On the tour I can only film in certain areas, like in the actual musical studio. So much music going on here, so much music history, and I love it. I've got a big smile on my face. I'm really excited to see it. Always wanted to, so yeah, get a big tick off my music bucket list going on here. So this music room we're in right now is where all the music was filmed originally in here. So Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, everyone in Sun Records, everything in here is original, down to the wall tiles, everything, the floor, and even there's a microphone there as well, where it was original from the 50s. And in 1956, like I said before, December, they had the $1 Million Picture taken, which is basically a massive jamming session. Carl Perkins, Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, right there on the picture. And the recordings were recorded because Elvis was at a different record label at the time, so they had to keep it a secret, and those recordings were kept secret from 1956 to 2003, and then they were just released. And Elvis Presley's first ever record was recorded right there on that spot where the X is, right there.
My first record was made quite a while ago. We had three instruments, myself on guitar and Scotty and a bass player. It went like this. Well, that's all right, mama. That's all right with you. That's all right, mama. Just any way you do, that's all right.
The amount of musical talent and history that has started in that room and has influenced on and on. Now, yeah, I love that. Marianne was Elvis's biggest fan, because Elvis came in there in 1953, wanted to record 2 songs, got him to come back in, and Sam Phillips hated it, hated the song, said no, wasn't looking for it, he liked blues. It took Elvis Presley a whole year to then come back hanging around, and he basically got his chance. In 1954, he came in there and he was standing right there in that room when he recorded the song, and the rest is history, as they say. So much originality, and just please go there, check it out, and you'll love it. But yeah, we're now going on to the next place. So our next stop of today is the Lorraine Motel, where in 1968, Martin Luther King was murdered. It is known as the National Civil Rights Museum. This is what it looks like when you come in, all the original front, I guess. It looks all original anyway. And here's the Lorraine Motel sign right there. But I don't actually know if you're allowed to film in here or not, because it is a museum. Where the reef is, right there behind me, that's where Martin Luther King was shot and killed, right there. So yeah, I'm actually very excited and interested to see this one. I'm not allowed to film anything inside the museum, so I'll tell you all about it once it's finished. So we just came for food now, we've left the museum. I'll go into more detail about the museum after, but we just stopped at Central Barbecue, which is right opposite where the museum is. Talking of food.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh my.
Thank you so much.
It looks great.
There you go. It's a pulled pork sandwich, delicious, with coleslaw that comes with it.
And classic mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese as well. Because I got to try it in America. Got to try it.
Exactly.
And then look at this nice array
Look at all the
of
sauces just going down there. Then I've had exactly the same, as you can see. Look at that, looking great. And then I've had fries. I call them chips, but you guys call them fries. So that's what I've had. Our new friend, Sage. Hi. He's taking us here. So there you go. And this is what we're doing now, so we're enjoying food. So it's right next to the Civil Rights Museum. So just remember, it's Civil Rights Museum, Central Barbecue. They've done the museum fantastically, really well. There's so much history there, so much information. I think it took us a good couple of hours to actually walk around comfortably. It shows you the hotel room as well, where Martin Luther King spent his last hours, his last days. You can actually walk through to the other side as well, which is a separate exhibit, again, just like a part of the tour, where it goes into details on the aftermath, how they found out who it was, different conspiracy theories, was it anyone else, and all the evidence where he got shot from. It just is very interesting to see. I'd actually recommend you go see it for sure. I've not actually been to another place like it, but the food was great as well, by the way. Barbecue sandwich, fantastic. Fries, well, the fries, but they taste good. The barbecue sauce with it, with the vinegar sauce as well, is fantastic. So come and have it, check it out. It is awesome. I hope you've enjoyed today. Got a lot planned for tomorrow. Very excited for it. See you tomorrow. Bye.